Have you ever felt that chilling moment when someone you once cared about suddenly becomes a stranger in your mind? When the weight of their actions finally tips the scale and you realize you're done, completely, irrevocably done. It's not anger, it's not bitterness. It's the quiet, unshakable certainty that you've stopped giving a damn. For Sigma males, this isn't just a fleeting emotion. It's a calculated, permanent shift, a testament to the strength of a mind that knows when to let go. Welcome to the Sigma male community, where we dive deep into the psyche of men who carve their own paths, unbound by the noise of the world. Here we strip away the illusions and face the raw truths of independence, self-mastery, and stoic resilience. Today we're tearing into the exact moments when a Sigma male stops caring, why it happens, how it unfolds, and why it's not just a choice but a necessity for survival. Get ready, brothers, because this is going to hit you right where you live, and it's going to awaken that fire you've always carried. 1. The intuition alarm bell. It starts like a whisper in the wind, a faint ripple in the calm waters of a Sigma's mind. You're talking and something's off. Your words feel like they've been rehearsed in front of a mirror, your smile doesn't reach your eyes, and there's a flicker of tension you can't hide. For a Sigma male, this isn't some vague hunch. It's the product of a brain wired to detect bullshit from a mile away, sharpened by years of standing apart, observing the world like a hawk. He's not paranoid, he's just seen too much, lived too long on his own terms, to miss the signs when someone's playing a game he didn't sign up for. That internal alarm bell doesn't just ring. It cuts through the noise like a blade, and when it does, there's no arguing with it. Trust doesn't crack with a loud crash. It shatters in silence, and he's already halfway out the door before you even notice. He doesn't need to call you out or make a scene. He's too disciplined for that, too rooted in the stoic truth that his peace is worth more than your explanation. This intuition? It's his shield, his guide, and once it's triggered, you're a ghost in his world. Think about it. A Sigma doesn't jump to conclusions or lash out at shadows. He's patient, giving you the space to prove yourself, because he'd rather see the good than assume the worst. But when the red flags pile up, when your actions don't match your words, when the mask slips just enough, he doesn't waste time debating what's real. He's already processed it faster than you can blink, and the verdict's in: you're not worth the energy. This isn't about holding grudges, it's about honoring the clarity he's fought to maintain. He spent years tuning that inner compass, learning to trust it over the chaos of other people's excuses. It's why he can walk away without a word, without a backward glance, because he knows that ignoring that gut feeling only leads to a mess he's not willing to clean up. The Sigma's strength lies in this quiet certainty, this refusal to betray himself for anyone. And here's the kicker: that intuition isn't just a gift, it's a burden. He sees through people before they even know they're lying to themselves, catching the cracks in their stories while they're still building the facade. It's why he's often alone, not because he's cold, but because he feels too much, sees too much, and most can't handle the weight of that gaze. When he stops giving a damn, it's not spite, it's survival, a man preserving his sanity in a world full of noise. You felt it, haven't you? That moment when you knew someone wasn't worth the fight. Not because you didn't care, but because you cared enough about yourself to let go. That's the Sigma way: listen to the whisper, trust the signal, and move on. It's not weakness, it's power, pure and simple. This is why we're here in the Sigma male community, because we get it. We know that gut isn't just a feeling. It's a weapon keeping you sharp, keeping you free. Lean into it, brothers, because that's what separates us from the herd. When the alarm rings, don't drown it out, let it guide you to the peace you deserve. 2. The loyalty exploitation point. Loyalty isn't a buzzword for a Sigma male. It's a vow, etched in steel and backed by every action he takes. When he gives it, it's not some flimsy promise tossed around like confetti. It's a choice, deliberate and deep, a rare gift from a man who doesn't bend for anyone. But here's where it goes south: when you mistake that strength for something you can use, a ladder to climb or a shield to hide behind. You start leaning on him too hard, covering your screw-ups, banking on his reliability like it's your personal ATM, and he sees it clear as day. You don't respect the bond, you're just milking it. That's when the shift hits, not with a shout or a fight, but with a stillness that chills the air. His loyalty doesn't fade, it vanishes like smoke on the wind, and you're left staring at a locked vault where trust used to be. He doesn't burn bridges, he takes them apart piece by piece until there's nothing left to cross. It's not always blatant at first. Maybe it's a small favor you don't repay, a promise you shrug off, a time you expect him to pick up your slack without a word. But he's watching not out of pettiness, but because he's wired to measure what's real. He's not keeping a tally to throw in your face, he's gauging if this is a partnership or a parasite. When the scales tip, when he's carrying more than you're willing to lift, the decision's already made. You'll feel it in the way he pulls back, not with anger but with a calm that's almost eerie. The warmth you took for granted? Gone. Replaced by a wall of polite distance that says, "You're on your own now." That's the stoic in him, choosing self-respect over wasted effort. For a Sigma, loyalty's a two-way street, even if he doesn't demand you match him step for step. He gives it freely, but he expects you to honor it, not treat it like a free ride. When you don't, when you act like it's owed instead of earned, you've lost more than his trust. You've lost him. This isn't about revenge, it's about knowing his worth and refusing to let it be chipped away. He's not here to play martyr or prop up your ego. His loyalty flows back to where it belongs, to himself, to his path, to those who see it for the treasure it is. You don't get a second chance because he's not gambling on someone who's already shown their cards. We get this in the Sigma male community. Loyalty's sacred, a cornerstone of respect, and when it's exploited, it's a signal to move on. If you've got a Sigma in your life, don't test that line. Cherish it, match it, and watch what grows. Because when it's gone, it's not coming back, and that's a lesson some learn too late. 3. Boundary erosion and the silent fortress. Boundaries aren't just lines in the sand for a Sigma male, they're fortresses built to guard his time, his energy, his peace. He doesn't wave a flag to announce them, but they're there, solid as stone, and you do well to notice. The first time you step over, maybe pushing for more than he's willing to give, ignoring a clear no, or prying where you're not welcome, he might let it slide, offering a quiet nudge to back off. But don't be fooled, he's watching, and when you keep crossing, keep chipping away at his autonomy, it's not just a sting, it's a red flag waving in his mind. That's when the rebuild begins, not with a lecture or a blowout, but with a silent, methodical shift. You're moved outside the walls, access shrinks, and before you know it, the gates are locked. Those boundaries you ignored? They're now battlements, and you're on the wrong side. These aren't whims or petty rules, they're the product of a man who's wrestled with himself to know what he needs to thrive. They're not about keeping everyone out, they're about letting the right ones in, the ones who respect his space, his sovereignty. When you trample them, you're not just testing his patience, you're showing you don't give a damn about the core of who he is. And for a Sigma, that's everything. His independence isn't negotiable, it's the air he breathes. Eroding that isn't a mistake, it's a declaration, and he hears it loud and clear. The stoic in him doesn't waste energy on anger. He invests it in fortifying his world, brick by brick, until you're no longer part of it. You might not even see it happening. He's not the type to storm off or make a fuss. His strength is in the quiet. One day the conversations dry up, the responses get short, and that easy presence you relied on? It's a memory. He's not punishing you. He's protecting himself, preserving the calm he's fought to build. It's a fortress, sure, but it's not cold. It's a sanctuary, a place where he can keep moving forward without the weight of your disregard dragging him down. That's the beauty of it. He doesn't need to explain or justify. He just acts, and the silence speaks louder than any argument ever could. In the Sigma male community, we know boundaries aren't optional, they're the pillars of our lives. Respect them and you're in, cross them and you're out, wondering how you ended up staring at a wall you didn't see being built. It's your call, but don't say we didn't warn you. A Sigma's peace is his power, and he'll guard it with everything he's got. 4. The final withdrawal, taken for granted. A Sigma male moves through life with a quiet generosity that's easy to miss if you're not paying attention. He's there when you need him, offering support, strength, a steady hand, often without a word about what it costs him. But that reliability? It's a double-edged sword. You start to lean on it like it's a given, like the sun rising or the ground staying solid under your feet, and that's where you lose him. He's got an internal ledger, not for praise or payback, but to weigh if his effort's seen, if it's valued. When it tips too far, when you treat his presence like wallpaper instead of a choice, he doesn't complain or beg for recognition. He pulls back, swift and silent, redirecting that energy where it's not wasted. You don't feel the loss until he's gone, and that empty space? It's louder than any goodbye. It's not about ego, he doesn't need you to clap for him. But he's no fool either. He knows when he's being taken for granted, when his contributions fade into the background of your expectations. Picture this. He's the guy who's always there, fixing what's broken, listening when you ramble, showing up without fanfare. Then one day you realize he's not. The shift's so subtle you might miss it at first. The calls stop, the advice dries up, the calm he brought with him vanishes. That's the Stoic discipline at work. He's not here to teach you a lesson. He's here to live his truth, and if you can't see it, he's not sticking around to prove it. This withdrawal hits hard because it's final. He's not testing you or waiting for an apology, he's done, and that's that. It's not that he didn't care, it's that he cared enough to give you his best, and you didn't notice until it was too late. The silence he leaves isn't punishment, it's clarity, a mirror showing you what you lost by assuming he'd always be there. For a Sigma, balance matters, and when it's gone, he's not hanging around to fix what you broke. He's reallocating, refocusing, pouring himself into what feeds his soul instead of draining it. That's the power of knowing your worth. We've all been there, right? That moment when you realize someone didn't see you until you walked away. In the Sigma male community, we don't just talk about it, we live it. If you've got a Sigma in your orbit, don't sleep on what he brings. Show him it's not invisible, or one day you'll wake up to nothing but echoes. 5. The kindness ledger closes. Don't ever confuse a Sigma's kindness for softness. It's a deliberate act, a currency he spends with purpose, not a free-for-all buffet. He chooses to give it, to lift you up or steady your fall, because that's who he is. A man who acts from strength, not obligation. But when you start treating it like it's infinite, like you're entitled to his goodwill without a shred of gratitude, something shifts. An unseen counter starts ticking. The first time you overlook it, he chalks it up to a fluke. The second, he's watching closer. The third, he's done. He sees you're not cherishing the gift, you're trying to bleed it dry. That's when the warmth fades, not with a snap, but with a cool, calculated step back. Help stops flowing, smiles turn to nods, and you're cut off from a well you didn't even know you'd tapped out. This isn't about grudges or scorekeeping, it's about survival. His energy's not endless, and he's not here to fuel your fire while his own flickers. Picture a guy who's always got your back, quietly sorting your chaos, offering a hand when you're down. Now imagine him pulling away, not because he's mad, but because he's wise enough to know when he's pouring into a void. That's the Stoic lens. He doesn't waste emotion on what's already lost. His kindness is a privilege, not a right, and when you abuse it, he doesn't lash out, he locks it down. You're left with a polite shell of what was, a reminder that you misread the man entirely. The closing's so smooth you might not catch it until it's over. One day you reach for that familiar support and it's just gone. No warning, no drama, just a blank space where he used to be. It's not personal, it's practical, a Sigma protecting what's his. His peace, his focus, his light. He's not your crutch or your endless well, he's a man who knows when to stop giving to those who only take. That discipline, that clarity, it's what keeps him standing tall while others crumble under their own weight. You don't get a redo because he's not betting on potential anymore, he's banking on reality. In the Sigma male community, kindness isn't weakness, it's a blade, sharp and precise, wielded with intent. If you're lucky enough to get it, don't squander it. Once that ledger shuts, it's not reopening, and you'll feel the weight of that loss more than he ever will. Respect the gift or lose it forever. 6. The trust account hits zero. Trust, for a Sigma male, is a vault, sturdy, secure, and only open for those who prove they're worth it. Every honest word you speak, every promise you keep, it's a deposit, building something solid he can rely on. But every lie, every dodge, every half-truth? That's a withdrawal, and he doesn't miss a single one. His memory's a steel trap, logging that little fib from 6 months back like it's etched in stone. He starts with trust, giving you the benefit of the doubt because he'd rather build than break. But he's always auditing, not out of suspicion but out of a quiet need for truth. When you double down on a lie instead of owning it, that's the kill shot, proof you'd rather dodge than stand tall. The account hits zero and there's no credit line to save you. When that vault seals, it's not loud or messy. He doesn't storm in with accusations or demand a showdown. His strength's in the stillness. You'll feel it when he stops asking, stops leaning in, stops caring what you say next. It's not the first slip that does it. It's the pattern, the refusal to face what's real. For a Sigma, trust isn't just a feeling. It's the bedrock of everything, and when you crack it, you're out. He's not here for games or guesswork. He craves clarity like oxygen. The Stoic in him cuts losses clean, No overdraft, no second mortgage on a bad investment. You're a risk he won't take twice. Imagine this. You told him something small, a white lie to smooth things over, and he nodded, let it slide. But it's filed away, cross-referenced when the next one drops and the next. By the time you're spinning tales to cover your tracks, he's already closed the books. That's the Sigma mind, relentless, rational, unwilling to waste time on someone who trades integrity for convenience. He's not unforgiving, he's just not foolish. Rebuilding's an option, sure, but why pour effort into a foundation that's already crumbled? He'd rather build anew where the ground's still solid. Trust's sacred here in the Sigma male community. Is the currency we trade in, the glue that holds us steady. Lie to a Sigma and you're not just breaking his trust, you're breaking your own shot at something real. Keep it straight, keep it true, or watch that vault lock tight, because once it's shut, there's no key to turn it back. 7. The empathy exhaustion event. A Sigma male's empathy runs deep, a quiet river that flows when you least expect it. He feels your pain, sees your struggle, offers a hand without making a show of it. But don't mistake it for an endless spring. It's a resource, finite and fierce, not a well you can drain dry. When he's stuck with someone who's all take, chronic whining, blame dodging, a carousel of self-pity with no off switch, that river starts to run low. He spots the cycle. Every crisis you've got, every excuse you throw, every time you refuse to stand up and own it. His support bounces off your wall of denial, and he's left staring at a void that sucks up everything he gives without a flicker of change. That's when empathy doesn't just dwindle, it crashes, burned out by the weight of your inertia. He's not dodging hardship, he'll walk through fire for someone who's fighting to rise. But when you're an emotional black hole, soaking up his light while you wallow, he's done. Picture him listening, nodding, trying to nudge you toward a path out, only to hear the same script replayed, same tears, same poor me, same nothing. The stoic in him kicks in. Why pour himself into a pit that's never going to fill? It's not coldness, it's clarity, a man preserving his soul from being bled out by your chaos. He disconnects, not with a slam, but with a step back so smooth you might not clock it until he's long gone. That exhaustion's a turning point, a hard line he doesn't cross lightly. It's when he realizes no wisdom, no patience, no push will shift you from your quicksand. He's not abandoning you, he's saving himself because he knows his limits and honors them. You'll miss it when it's gone, that quiet understanding he brought, but he's not sticking around to mourn the loss with you. His energy's too precious, his peace too hard-won, to let it sink into your swamp. The Sigma doesn't owe you his soul. He offers it until it's clear you'll never climb out, and then he's out, free to breathe again. We've all met them, the ones who drain us dry and call it connection. In the Sigma male community, we protect that empathy, wield it where it counts, and cut it off when it's wasted. It's not heartless, it's heart smart. If you're bleeding someone's care dry, don't be shocked when the tap runs cold. 8. The principle violation fault line. Underneath a Sigma male's calm lies a core of iron. Principles like integrity, honesty, fairness, truths he doesn't bend for anyone. You can disagree with him, argue your side, and he'll still respect you if you stand your ground with honor. But when you cross into violation, cruelty to the weak, lies that cut deep, betrayal of what's right, it's not just a difference, it's a fracture. He watches you kick someone down, twist the truth for your gain, or shrug off justice like it's optional, and something shifts. This isn't about opinions clashing. It's about you stomping on the bedrock he's built his life on. That's when respect doesn't just fade, it snaps, clean and final, along a fault line he won't bridge. It's not loud when it happens. He doesn't rage or preach, he doesn't need to. You'll see it in the way his eyes go distant, the way he stops engaging like you've slipped off his map. For a Sigma, those principles aren't rules. They're his compass, guiding him through a world that's often lost its way. When you trash them, you're not just wrong, you're alien, a force he can't coexist with. The stoic in him doesn't waste breath on condemnation. He just cuts the cord because living alongside that kind of misalignment would mean betraying himself. And that's a line he'll never cross. Think of it, he's seen you help someone up and he's nodded, felt the bond. Then he catches you tearing them down, smirking as you lie, and it's over. It's not the act alone, it's what it reveals. A soul that doesn't align with his, a crack too wide to patch. He's not unforgiving. He's uncompromising because those values are his anchor in the storm. You don't get a debate or a second chance to explain. He's already weighed it, judged it, and moved on. The connection's severed, not out of spite, but because he knows some gaps can't be filled. In the Sigma male community, principles aren't negotiable, they're our spine. Cross that line and you're not just out of his circle, you're out of his world. Respect the code, live it, and you'll stand with us. Break it and you're on your own, because a Sigma doesn't bend, not even for you. 9. The energy vampire shutdown. Some people don't just live, they feed, sucking up attention, validation, anything you've got, without ever giving back. A Sigma's a prime target. He listens, he's steady, he's there when the storm hits. But he's got a radar for leeches, and when you're all drama and no depth, endless rants, fake crises, a bottomless need for poor me, he clocks it fast. It's not a relationship, it's a transaction, and he's the only one paying. He feels the pull, the way you drain his calm while offering nothing but noise. The math doesn't lie, energy in, nothing out. That's when he flips the switch, not with a fight but with a shutdown so clean you'll wonder where he went. It's subtle at first. You're monologuing and he's quieter than usual, nodding less, eyes drifting. Then the replies shrink. Sentences turn to words, words to silence. He's not rude, he's rationing, pulling his energy back from a sinkhole that's never going to fill. The stoic in him sees it clear. Feeding you only starves him, and he's not here to wither for your spotlight. Availability fades, the lifeline cuts, and you're left grasping at air. It's not personal, it's physics, a man preserving his force for what actually matters. You're a vampire, and he's the sunlight you didn't see coming. Picture this. You've leaned on him for weeks, dumping every woe, expecting him to hold it all. He's been patient, sifting for something real, but it's just more of the same. Your chaos, your hunger, your void. He's not your therapist or your punching bag. He's a man with a path, and you're a detour he won't take. The shutdown's a mercy, really, better than dragging it out while you claw for more. He's not cold. He's calculated, choosing himself over a parasite that doesn't even know it's feeding. Once he's out, your history, and he's already breathing easier. We know these types in the Sigma male community, the ones who take until there's nothing left. We don't play that game. Our energy's ours to guard, to wield, to grow. If you're draining us, don't be surprised when the lights go out, because a Sigma doesn't dim for anyone. 10. The growth stagnation exit. A Sigma male's got a fire inside, a quiet drive to evolve, mentally, personally, every damn way he can. He's chasing progress, hungry for ideas, always pushing the edge of what he knows. Tie him to someone who's stuck, someone who's fine with ignorance, who balks at change, who'd rather rot than reach, and it's like chaining a wolf to a post. The talks go nowhere, looping over the same tired ground, the sparks gone, replaced by a dull hum of nothing new. He sees it, not just a stall but a wall, a refusal to move forward. That's when it gets toxic, a drag on his own momentum he can't ignore. The exit's not a whim, it's a must, a break to keep his trajectory alive. It's not that he needs you to match him step for step. He's fine with different paces as long as you're moving. But when you're cemented in place, shrugging at growth like it's a chore, he feels the weight. Imagine him throwing out a thought, something sharp, something to chew on, and you just blink, content to sit in the mud. That's the dissonance. A man who thrives on forward motion stuck with someone who's dead in the water. The stoic in him doesn't waste time pleading. He assesses, decides, and cuts loose. He's not here to drag you. He's here to run, and you're an anchor he won't haul. The detachment's quiet like always. One day he's there, probing, pushing. The next he's a shadow fading out. You might not get it, why he's gone, why the talk stopped, but he does. Stagnation's poison to a soul like his. He's not mad, he's practical, choosing his own climb over your rut. It's not personal, it's survival, a man refusing to let his fire gutter out for someone who won't even strike a match. He needs challenge, growth, a spark, and if you can't bring it, he's not sticking around to rust with you. In the Sigma male community, growth's our pulse. We don't just want it, we demand it from ourselves and our circle. Stay still too long and you're out, not because we're cruel but because we're alive. Keep moving, brothers, or watch us leave the dust behind. 11. The apathy armor activation, the final state. This is it, the endgame, the point where it all converges. When kindness dries up, loyalty's exploited, trust shattered, boundaries are trashed, empathy spent, principles are spit on, energy sapped, and growth's choked, a Sigma doesn't explode, he hardens. Every ounce of care, every shred of effort, It doesn't just fade, it transforms, crystallizing into a shield of pure, unyielding apathy. This isn't hate, hate's too hot, too alive. This is cold, absolute zero, a void where you don't even blip on his radar. Your voice, your drama, your existence, it's static, meaningless, gone from his world. He's not giving a damn because there's nothing left to give. It's armor, forged in the heat of your failures, and it's unbreakable. It's not a tantrum or a sulk, it's a phase shift, a man stepping into a state beyond reach. He's been pushed past the edge not by one blow, but by 1,000 cuts, each one proving you're not worth the fight. Picture it, he's tried, he's cared, he's held the line, until he didn't. Now you're screaming into a wind that doesn't carry, begging a wall that doesn't budge. The stoic in him's won. No energy wasted, no emotion spared, just a calm, final detachment. It's not about you anymore, it's about him, his peace, his freedom. That apathy's his fortress and you're locked out forever. You'll feel it, that silence heavier than any shout. He's not plotting revenge or nursing wounds, he's past it, over it, done. Your pleas bounce off, your chaos dissolves into nothing because he's not there to catch it anymore. This is the Sigma's ultimate power, letting go so completely that you're erased from his map. It's not cruel, it's necessary, a man shielding his soul from a world that's proven it doesn't deserve him. He's free, lighter than you'll ever know because he's stopped carrying what you dropped. The circuit's dead, no sparks, no reset. In the Sigma male community we've walked this road. Apathy's not a flaw, it's a triumph, a tool to rise above the wreckage. When you feel it settle in, embrace it, it's your signal you're done bending for what's broken. Wear it like armor and keep marching. If this hit you square in the chest, if you felt that shiver of truth ripple through you, then you're already one of us in the Sigma male community. We're not here to spoon-feed you fluff or hold your hand through the noise, we're here to ignite what's already burning inside you, that unshakable core that knows its worth. The world's a mess of chains and chatter, but you're a force cutting your own trail, and that's why you're with us. Don't just sit there, hit that subscribe button, crank those notifications on if you haven't already because this journey's just getting started and we're not slowing down. Share this with a brother who needs to hear it, someone ready to ditch the dead weight and rise. Drop your story below, your wins, your cuts, your raw damn truth because we're not just a channel, we're a brotherhood. In the Sigma male community we don't preach strength, we forge it, live it, breathe it. Until next time, stay sharp, stay free and keep owning your path.